Good morning, everybody. James Rule, XRP. I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about this interview today because usually I'm always interviewing blockchain enthusiasts, developers, CEOs with companies. Well, one thing that a lot of us really don't focus on is our health. And today I'm really honored to bring someone to the masses because we always talk about our health. We always talk about our crypto. We always talk about, okay, we're going to get this crypto, this bag, but we can't take it with us. We have to keep ourselves healthy and pass it on to future generations and stay as healthy as long as we can. Well, about 3 weeks ago, I created a Twitter Spaces. It's like a chat group, a live chat group on Twitter where people come in and ask questions. And at that point in time, I was talking about my sister's health, what she's going through. And by the grace of God, this guy named Jerimey popped into the chat and I'm like, wow, who is this guy? And we got started talking and we built a relationship over the past few weeks. And this guy's incredible. He's a board certified naturopath. And I'm going to give this disclaimer before we get into the conversation. The information provided is for educational purposes only and is not as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. And you should contact a qualified healthcare provider for any health concerns. Jerimey, it's an honor. Welcome to the show. How are we doing today?
It's great to be here with you this morning, and I'm super excited about getting this information out to people. I wanted to get with you because I know that you're starting a stronger health journey yourself. And like you said, I'm also an XRP holder and many other assets. But as we are continuing to drive down that road, it's going to become pretty important that we get to the end with all of the years that we're supposed to have. And the only way to do that is to take full control of our health. So I'm Jerimey Grider. I'm a board certified naturopath. I've been doing this job for about 16 years here locally in central Illinois. Crazy state to live in, but here we are. And I've helped thousands of people throughout my area looking for the natural alternatives to their health. And so the surprisingly simple things can be wonderful solutions when we get into process or we're getting back into process. So I've had a lot of people come to me, and the first thing that some of these people say is, hey, you know what? I just got lab work done from my medical doctor, and the doctor says everything is good, but I still feel terrible and I can't figure out what's going on. Most of the people, it's not that they're lazy or they're crazy or any of that thing, any things like that. Mostly this all wraps around all of the chronic conditions that people have going on in the country. So we kind of, I kind of sit down and put some stuff together to give people a simple solution that will give them something they can grab onto. When I see somebody as a naturopath inside of my practice here in central Illinois, we go through a lot of different steps of where they are in process and stuff. And then we go over something called foundational principles. And these foundational principles, although they are quite simple, they're extremely dynamic to all of the environments that we are subject to. So this morning, I'm going to go through the 9 core foundations. I was telling James in our intro that when people see me as a naturopath, I have this great foundational chart that you could pin up on the fridge at home. And every single day, it gives you a check mark box to show yourself that you are getting these things done. And even as simple as some of these things are, when you hear what can happen when they're done, it makes a huge difference in where you're going to be going as far as your health is concerned. So I will use you today because I know that you're starting to jam along in this process to ask you the questions as we're going through it, and how you set in each of these foundational principles. And by the time we're done with the 9, we should have a pretty good idea of how many each individual that sees the video today is going to literally be doing or not doing in their personal life.
And
so
I didn't mean to catch up, but I want to let the public know that this is all pre-recorded. So right now we're in a live chat, and Jerimey is in the chat. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask those questions in this chat. I have all of his information in the description of this video. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to let the public know that, so they can go ahead and start asking questions. So okay.
That's right. So we're going to kind of name this the 2026 daily reset toolkit. And these are things that can be done every single day. And it's so simple. But if we get these 9 core foundations right, everything else will start to line up. So it starts with something as simple as air. So air is an extremely important process to our life force and our function. Breathing air is a simple process for us, but a lot of us aren't breathing deeply enough throughout the day. A lot of people get this in exercise, but then there's daily sit down diaphragmatic breathing techniques, and you can look these up on, we call it Dr. Google, but you can look them up there and do these breathing exercises. And these breathing exercises help you bring in our most important antioxidant. And so oxygen actually deoxidizes the cells inside of us. And so as every single person sits down a couple of times a day and does deep breathing treatments with themselves, what they'll find is that even with 15 minutes twice a day for 30 days a month, we can lose 10 pounds just breathing air.
Wow.
Every single time we're getting deeper breaths of air, we're sending oxygen to places that it's not getting when we're just breathing through life. And it's so silly to think that something so simple could actually help you lose weight. But I have tons of people over the years that have been with me, and they have done this, and it works.
That's
Again,
incredible.
like I said, you can get that in your daily exercise or walking or even working on the farm. Those things actually will help you breathe deeper. And when you know that you're breathing deep is because a lot of people that walk through my doors, they go from a car to inside of my stores and they're breathing heavy just with that little bit of walking. So these breathing treatments that we can do for ourselves, these breathing exercises that we can do will bring better oxygen into our body and help us. So let me ask you, James, do you sit down anytime during the day and do a 15-minute or even a 10-minute session of just trying to focus and breathe?
No, I do not yet.
So we can't check that one off the box yet.
Yep.
So number 2 in this process is drinking the correct amount of water. So I get this a lot with bodybuilders, especially because, I see a lot of those guys. I'm actually doing it myself. Well, I drink plenty of water. Well, how much water do you drink? And then they'll either tell me way too little of water or they're drinking water in excess. The problem is our bodies are meant to pH balance our bodies with said water and then food nutrients that we're taking in. In this drinking water, we have to go by the correct amount every single day. And the correct amount of water is half of your body weight in fluid ounces every single day. And so I get people that are like, well, I weigh 200 pounds. You mean I got to drink 100 ounces of water a day? You do. But the problem is most people are like, well, I'm going to carry around this big giant jug of water to drink all day long. And that's really not the course and cause either. If you're up 16 hours a day and you have to drink 100 ounces of water, then what you do is divide the amount of hours you're up during the day to the amount of water that has to go in, and you will hit the number every day. I think mine right now is like 5.5 ounces of water per hour to hit the 220-ish weight that I am. So 110 ounces, you do the math by how long you're up. And again, we're solving a massive problem that people aren't doing correctly. So water at half of your body weight and fluid ounces daily. And this is how it's going to help your process. So let's ask you the second question. James, how much water are you drinking daily?
Not enough, and I do have the bucket thing with the times on it, and I tell you what, I don't get enough water. I'll be honest with you. I do not get enough in a day.
So once we divide our body weight to the amount, the only way that we really have to increase water into our bodies is if we're into one of the other principles, which is detoxing, where we're sweating really bad. Then we can add a little bit of water to that. But that one there leads us into this next one, which is number 3, foods that pH balance the body. We have crazy diets in the United States. We're basically meat and potatoes type of people. But the problem is that we have to balance the pH of our bodies, and we need to do that well. So when we're eating throughout the day, we want to take in food nutrients that actually help guide the pH to the correct amount of balance that we're looking for. 6.4 over 6.4 is what they call a perfect pH balance. Now, this is something else that we can talk about in other segments, or your people can ask me, well, how do you test that? There's a simple test strip out there that you can, do saliva on, or you can pee on another, and that will give you where you're coming in. So the food nutrients that we're taking in, they actually mix with the water as they get out of the stomach and they get into our GI tract. And then all of those digested nutrients actually leach into the water. And then the water is absorbed by our gut. So it becomes extremely important in that time to make sure that the right nutrients are going in. I tell people all the time, soda is not an acceptable solution for water when you're eating your dinner. You have to have something that your nutrients can, absorb into, so that you can get this right. So how do you, number 3 in this one, I would like to ask you how your diet is. Are you sugary, or are you doing well?
Well, I'm horrible. I'm trying to go total carnivore, keto, and my body is telling me, well, you need that rice, you need those potatoes. Your mom keeps cooking some really good food. It's really hard to stay on track. And my problem is I might skip breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast person, and I need to. I guess I'm telling myself this: get into some kind of routine where they eat the certain types of meals at a certain time per day, like every day. Like make it, I guess, a daily routine to put the right foods in my body, like you're talking about, but time the meals properly. I guess you could say that.
Try being married to a Colombian. Rice is in every dinner. They're rice people. The food nutrients that the Colombians take in, it's really good. And even in the United States, we eat a lot of foods that are still very much so from that culture. But they definitely like their rice. And so I became a no rice guy several years ago. So the next one, number 4, I'd like to talk about is exercise. This is the big monster in the middle. A lot of people, when they come in and they're looking to, lose weight or get things figured out, they'll say things to me like, you mean I got to go to the gym and exercise? Well, I work hard in my job. You do work hard in your job. Every single one of us works hard in our job. But then the guy walks through the doors here and he's got some belly fat that needs to go that he cannot shed. And then he has gotten used to working in his job. So no longer is that job actually challenging the body to be able to do what he needs done to keep the weight off. When you first start a job, it's probably a different scenario. Many, many years ago, when I worked for another company, every day I go in there, I would sweat, I would be dirty coming out of the place. But within a couple of months, all of that changed. No longer went out dirty. It was just the challenge of the job at first. So that's why number 4 is exercise, and we've got to do it for at least 30 minutes daily. And when you first start, it's okay to do it for, 3 days a week kind of thing. I work out 6 days a week. I have a very strict training regimen with a lot of balance of what I'm doing for my muscles in the body. But if we can get to the habit of going, 3 days a week at least, this will make a huge impact in our health as well. So now, how is your exercise?
Horrible. I walk. I try to get in 10,000 steps. I create content. I create YouTube videos. And the first thing you do when you get up in the morning, you work out for several hours, right? I mean, that's the first thing you do when you get up every day, right?
4 a.m., man. I'm off to
Wow.
the gym every day. This has been my routine for, I think it's been more than 8 years now. I work at a really wonderful facility in our area, and it is state of the art equipment inside of there. And said equipment is really making the difference for all of the people that are inside of that facility, really trying to, build health. Because, I mean, I've been doing this since I got out of high school. I've been fit and staying fit all those years. And I've had times where I've let myself go for a few months and put on 20 pounds and had to, jump back in full force to get myself motivated again, like everybody else that exists on the planet. But the bigger part of the picture is gaining that consistency in the gym, and then that just makes things get better for you. So the fifth one that we're going to talk about is body energy balance. And so this one here has to do with our sleep. Sleep patterns are pretty jacked up in our country too, because of how kids and life and wife and all of those things are going for us. And we're just living an extremely busy life. And then we're also living in an extremely complex and also frustrating and anxiety driven world now. And the more sleep that we get, it's a simpler one to talk about as far as foundations, but we got to break ourselves to that at least 6 hour a day pattern. That way we can, really function the way that we need to. The body has a cycle at night, and it's crazy. You can look it up on Dr. Google, but the body has a literal cycle of when the organ systems inside of us will optimize themselves while we're sleeping. So people that have little things going on or disrupted sleep all the time could be making that cycle of, for an example, the liver cycle in the body. From like 1 to 3 in the morning, the liver does the majority of the work that it's going to do for your next day at that point at night. So each of our organ systems work and react in the sleep the way that they're supposed to for healing our bodies. It's been a complex scenario for people with the melatonin product that's out there to help people sleep. I do carry melatonin in my places, but melatonin is a hormone, and melatonin is released to help us sleep. But melatonin has a way bigger job. It's actually a hormone that is helping heal the brain. And it helps heal our brains every night while we're sleeping. And if we're not getting enough sleep, that said stress, that same anxiety that we're seeing so much of right now, really, really starts to climb. So, James, how is your sleep?
I'll be honest with you. I probably get too much sleep, and it's funny you asked. Several years ago, I worked at a plant here in Southeast Texas that was shift work. So I'd work days and off a couple of days, and then I worked nights for 3 nights, and my biological clock was so messed up, I never got used to shift work. But now that I'm on pretty much my own schedule, I get plenty of sleep. Probably too much, to be honest with you. But yeah,
Right.
I do get sleep.
Right. So, it just shows you and I don't think too much sleep is a problem. I mean, if you're sleeping 12 hours a day, then we may have to rearrange that, because we're not 12 anymore. We're not 14. We're not 18 anymore. Because you can remember the times when we were all growing through life, and that extra sleep is extremely important. My little buddies, I would be extremely happy every day if they would sleep more. But they like to get up early with dad and mosey around the house. So, but it definitely getting at least 6 hours, topping off maybe at an 8-hour sleep. I'm about a 6-hour sleeper, and I've been doing it for more than 10 years, and it works. And I've got plenty of energy. But like I said, all of these foundations that we're kind of just driving through, trying to show people that it's not really that complicated for us to get there. So the next one that I want to talk about is emotional meditation. And a lot of people have all of these things going on in life, and we are seeing a massive increase, like I was saying a second ago, in all of this anxiety going on in our country. But most people are not sitting down and taking quiet, restful time to meditate about things that they're going through or dealing with, or all of that. When I became a naturopath, our teachers, who are some of the most amazing people that I could ever guide anybody to, Trinity School of Natural Health, they are awesome. I'm not really plugging them, but they are an awesome school. They teach really wonderful concepts to all of us. But when we were all going through this, the meditation part of it is a massive, massive play in what we want to do in driving function back into our minds with all of this stress that we deal with. So I think that if people can sit down for a couple of times a day for 15 or 20 minutes and just meditate and have quiet time. My wife likes to call it, I need 15 minutes, so I'm heading out. And she will get out of the room. She'll go relax and sit and get her some time to just calm from things that we deal with on a daily basis that we're not really taking enough time. Guys like you and me, we call that boat time out on the lake. And we love to do things like that. That's a good time for us to meditate, especially if you're getting to go out and fish alone. Things like that have to be done so that we can kind of reset our mental focus and really drive ourselves back to the places that we need to be. So do you take some time every day to meditate and just kind of relax for James?
Very seldom. Every night, I believe in the laws of attraction. Every night before I go to bed, I spend a couple of minutes, thanking God, thanking the universe for everything I have and everything I'm going to receive. But I don't spend 15 minutes doing that.
Right.
Now, I do. I love nature. We were talking about me putting the peanuts out on the driveway here and watching the squirrels come up and just kind of focus on nature. But as far as like really taking time out, total quietness to myself, 15 minutes twice a day, I haven't done that yet.
And I do not
do that.
Difference.
I don't do that. So,
and it'll make a huge difference when you have the opportunity to do it, just because of the simple fact that you'll start to appreciate that little bitty short time. I mean, I need that time. My boys are great. I mean, they're 5 and 4 years old. And at 52 years of age, it's a little bit rough, to have the children on you like, they want. But I get some of that time, and it really helps me kind of just, close myself back up and not feel so rough. So the next one that I want to talk about is an extremely important one, and it's detoxing our bodies. So every single one of us lives in what I consider multi-environmental situations. Okay. You have a home environment. Lots of homes have mold in them. It's a sad reality for us, but this does occur, and it is occurring all across the country. So detoxing becomes important in that environment. You have a work environment. Depending on what's inside of the facility that you're working in, you have chemicals or bad quality of air things that are going on. You have an outdoor environment that is a whole nother monster to unfold with what's going on with our air outside, pollution from cars or pollution from the air, whatever is going on out there. And all of these environments are literally sitting inside of us. And then I ask people when they come and see me, how long has it been since you've detoxed your body? Well, I can tell you, I haven't sweat good in 20 years. And I'm thinking, if we are holding all of that stuff in our bodies for 20 years, what is it truly doing to the organ systems and immune systems that we house inside of our bodies? It is super important that we have to get into the gym or into a sauna or into a scenario where you can physically detox your body through sweating, dry brushing. You ever been in the car driving down the road and all of a sudden get the feeling that you just start rubbing your leg or your arm? Well, it's your body telling you that the lymphatic system is needing movement. You've had to have that happen in a long car drive somewhere. We all travel to places, and that's one of the big problems there. But I feel like once you start to do that, you're moving that lymphatic fluid throughout the body again, and then you're not leaving blood sitting in places for long periods of time when you're on a airplane trip and other things like that. So the detoxing, I tell people now you can get these saunas that are infrared and steam, and they're all over the internet for like $160. And it's a pop-up tent that you can stick in the garage or in a basement. And then it comes with a chair, it comes with all the goodies, and you can literally jump yourself into that and sit in there for 10 or 15 minutes. Most people, when they start getting into those, they're probably not going to do more than 10 minutes because they're really hot, and you're going to let out all of that stuff. But the second that you start detoxing your body through that process, man, you cannot believe the load of things that you're pulling out of the lymphatic system. Your blood, you have 9 pints of blood in your body. You have 18 pints of lymphatic fluid. And then a lot of the cancers that we're seeing today in the world, they're lymphatic bound. And so we don't want to be masticating things that have been sitting in us for long periods of time. And that process gets even worse. So let's ask you that question too. Are you spending some time in a sauna, or do you have a sauna at home?
I do not have a hot shower. I do not have a sauna, but I have, detox cleanses in the past, but nothing really. We live in an industrial area. We have a lot of refineries and stuff in our area. So I know that there's things that I live in a rural area. I'm probably 30, 40 miles away from any major big city, but still, I live around farm animals. I live around, I don't know about mold. I try to keep everything clean. I keep my filters. I'm real particular about keeping my house clean and in order. So, but as far as a detox, I really haven't been on really any major regimen or any kind of natural detox that you could probably provide, right?
Yeah. So I have natural detoxes for the lymphatic and for the GI. They're super good and they're wonderful for us to use. But definitely adding that sauna time or, cardiovascular. When you're running on the treadmill, you're doing other, high impact exercise, you're going to move sweat. We all know that from, being in the gym. So it becomes another really important foundation for us as this process folds forward. So the next one that I want to talk about is one of our favorites, and it's sunlight. So vitamin D production in our bodies is super, super efficient when we're in the sun. Typically, it only takes us about 15 minutes. The cholesterol that is in our skin, cholesterol, I thought that was bad. Well, cholesterol is what produces vitamin D3 in our bodies. So when we're in the sun, we're getting that nice base tan and all of that happening, we're literally producing enough vitamin D for the day, as long as we can get in the sun for at least 15 minutes. And that's a pretty important one. And then I always try to tell people that are here, when we're in the winter months, we got to take a supplement of vitamin D, just because that way we keep the vitamin D levels high. One of the most common problems in health is deficiencies. We all saw that with the COVID-19 monster. So many people had comorbidities, and a lot of them housed from vitamin D and magnesium and calcium deficiencies in the body, which are extremely important for, movement and all of those things. So, like I said, in the wintertime, we want to go ahead and just do a supplement of some vitamin D. But let's get in the sun every chance we get. My back door's just 10 steps that way. And if I'm not super busy or overwhelmed in my places of business, then I jump out the back door in the sunny days and just get that 5-7 minutes, and then maybe jump out later 5-7 minutes to try to drive as much of that vitamin D natural production in my body,
No, absolutely.
So I know that I don't have to ask you that one, but we'll go ahead and ask anyway. I know that you get plenty of sun because of what you do in Texas. So give me a little insight on how much you get a day.
I get, probably an hour and a half, because I'm always out where we're taking care of the farm, taking care of the animals. I go out to the local city park and walk. So really, the sun does wonder. Vitamin D, just getting out. And now my legs, I could blind you right now. I look like a snowman. I haven't been wearing my
We're all there.
But yeah, I will blind you. You will see me from a mile away. But yeah, I do get sun, and I do wear my sunscreen and all that stuff. Like if I'm fishing, we went fishing last week and we spent the entire day out. I probably got too much sun, but man, we had a blast. You talking about therapeutic. Go out there and catch those crappie. And you showed me your crappie pictures where you're from, and I'm like, man, no, I thought ours were big. You definitely had some bigger crappie in your area. So that's a totally different conversation there. Guy talk. We start talking about fishing, we'll lose focus on this health thing we were talking about. So
right. So the last one in the 9 core foundations, and I'm going to list them again at the end of this conversation.
Fantastic.
Just to give people another time to be able to go back and say, hey, I'm going to write these down. That way they have those. But the last one is spirituality. So this already about me, but I love having American liberty, and my liberties in God. Mm-hmm. I trust God. I live for God, and Jesus is my guy. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not a force feeder. I'm a liberty believer. We had that conversation the other day, but I want everyone to have some kind of spiritual time for themselves. We are spiritual beings. You've been at a concert, you've been at a basketball game, and when all of those voices come together and and cheer, you feel something moving in the room. And that's the spiritual side of us all flowing forward. All of us are on a journey. And whatever that journey, one of the most important things for me to talk about is just driving yourself towards finding spirituality in your own life. Mm-hmm. One of the most important things is to always be seeking higher power. You'll figure it out at whatever point in your life that you're at. But once you are there, you're not going to have any denial in it. The greatest thing about living in a country like this, or even in other countries where the religious stuff is not held down by government, we have liberty to do that. And the greatest thing about the United States is that the majority of our people, no matter where they are in life or even in a relationship with God, they all believe in God. And that's a great thing. And, as I became a naturopath and the healer that I am in this store, it's not by my hand, it's by seeking that higher authority. And you can go look up the reviews for my place and all of those things. People are going to see that I have his authority to do what I do here. It's just like what's happening with your sister right now. She's seeking healing, and she's going to find it. And there's no doubt in my mind. I've been praying for her. I've been driving that process and in this rough time for your family. But you know what? I have confidence right now that this is going to happen exactly the way that it's supposed to. I feel very solid in being able to say that. So one more time, I want to go over all of the 9 core foundations. If people want to contact me, I'll be more than happy to feed this sheet to them where they can pin this thing up on the board at their house and just start checking it off. Then you have an accountability partner in me. That's what I'm going to be for all of the people that are going to come to me and have conversations and find their way forward in this. That they can have this depend on their fridges, and I'll be their accountability partner, just like I'm going to be for you, until we're having this same conversation a year from now, and people are like, I don't know what's going on with James Rule, but my gosh, he's really awesome changes in him. Yeah. Let's be excited about health, man. I mean, I'm a monster, and I'm 52. I'm not a spring chicken, but I am with zero pain in my body. Nice. I am with all of the right things happening in my health, and all of that lands from these 9 core foundations. So one more time, guys. Air at 15 minutes a day. Water at half of your body weight in fluid ounces. Foods that pH balance the body. Detoxing or sweating in a sauna, however you find that. Sunlight at 15 minutes per day minimum, or vitamin D in the winter. Exercise for 30 minutes per day. Emotional stability and meditation. At least 15 minutes a day, guys. We can do that for ourselves right off the bat. We need it, that quiet time. Let's rest in it. Body, energy, and balance. That's your sleep. Let's get that 6 to 8 hour point. And spirituality. So if any of this today has clicked with our audience, you can screenshot things that James is going to put up for you all at the end. I'm at Grider, Grider, Jerimey, and that's spelled weird, Jerimey on X. And every single person that comes and asks questions, I'll be more than happy to answer each and every one of you. It's a journey to natural health. It's a fight that we have to take, and every single day is a step forward in that process. And every day that you go forward in it, you're leaving the old you behind. Let's do that. Let's do it together. Let me help you be accountable for the things. I have so many in this area. I mean, I've been in business for 16 years, so I have probably 20 to 30,000 people coming to my 2 big vitamin stores here centrally. But those folks all know what this guy's built on. And I want to help everyone out there find the journey. I've told you this before. I'm nothing special. I'm not a perfect person. I'm none of those things. But what I've housed myself around is what gives us all the opportunities to use individuals like myself that are ready to help individuals regardless of where they are. I've had 400-pound weight losses here. I've had health journeys where people were blocked in veins and all of these different things that have come into me. And we use natural health processes to get them to not have surgery for kidney stones or whatever is coming at you. I said it before, but God has put everything on the planet that we need, period. It's all here. Just in the locations that I own, I have probably 300 individual herbs that all do different things inside of the body. And that's by chance, right? It's not. It's all been provided for us. It's right here in front of us. And I'm ready to be on this health journey with all of you. James, I'm telling you, my brother, it is definitely meant to be. XRPs are our big brother in the room, and I want to make sure that I am helping you and all of the people that follow you get to the latest part of life, man, enjoying. Do you want to get to the 60, 70, 80 realm of your own life and be like, well, if I would have listened to Dr. Jerimey, I would have gotten where I needed to be. But you didn't, and now you're on a cane and not able to go to Dubai.
Right.
You're on a cane and can't go to South America and visit beautiful places. I'm sorry. I want you to get as far in this life as you can. It is extremely important for me. Outside of perfection, outside of the big wall of life, you're going to get what you get with me. I'm a no bars hold type of individual, man, and I want to help folks out there. And you're going to be my big test subject for all of your listeners, because we are going to do it together. And then it's going to show them, hey, listen, man, I just listened and I did these things, and here we are.
Man, fantastic, man. I tell you, it's the little things, and it's goal oriented. And, you know, so many of us are not goal oriented. If we had a checklist like you're offering there, it gives us the drive to do something that we've never done before. And man, I mean, God sent you to me. It's just a miracle that, we're able to talk about this today, you know, get away from crypto for a minute, talk about our health, because like I said, you can't take it with you. I mean, we can accumulate all these bags and all this wealth, but if we're on a cane, or if we can't get around, how are we going to enjoy the fruits of our labor? So again, I'm going to leave all of your socials below, all of that information, your contact information. Hopefully everybody, the masses, will be coming to you asking questions. And man, you're just it's just incredible for you to offer your services and just change people's lives forever.
There are so many naturopaths out there that are really good at what they do. I'm a hidden little gem in central Illinois. Many folks know who I am here, and I have people traveling from up to 50 miles to come see me here in the stores when they found me by chance, just like you and I have found each other as friends. We are going to just show folks, period, what this process is about and how all of it can come together when we just put one foot in front of the other. Like you said, we want all of the things that are coming with this big blessing that's about to happen as this new financial frontier runs forward with us. You and I, we are spot on with how we feel about crypto and XRP and other assets. But the biggest part of it is that I want you guys to get there. I want every single person that's out there looking at this today to go, man, you know what? That dude, it set tone with me. And we can have that tone together in any conversation y'all want to have. So it's been my pleasure to speak with you all this morning. James is a great host and a guinea pig too, because that's what he's going to be for me.
You know, I want to come back in 6 months and see this go away. You know, I want to see some of this extra baggage go away.
I promise you it will be.
Nice.
We are going to do it together. So appreciate you all, and I'll let you have final words.
Man, I appreciate you again. Everybody, I tell you what, the contact information is below. This is a journey for everyone to take a look at. Let's get together. Let's do this and see what happens. And like I said, everybody, James Rule XRP, I like to mix it up every once in a while. But, you know, at the end of every show, I'm always going to say, I told you so.